is melanized in magic. Black is televised and in need of drastic black advancement. Black enhances black with chances, black with privilege, black with pride, black on purpose on the black hand side, black and beautiful, black and blessed and highly favored, praise the Lord, black and blessed, black and so much more, black and nothing less, black and educated, black is brilliant, black is strong, black is resilient, black is song, black is infinite, like hip hop or space. Black is grace, black is love, black makes babies, black babies grow up, black is tough, black is hard to do. Black is me, black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. It's something we get to wear, and we get to rock this with honor. I'm black like my granddaddy and my great-great-great-great-grandma.
Amen.
Black is that lift every voice and sing. Black is that letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun.
The action word. Black is an action word. It's a verb. It's a noun.
You so black. Oh, you so black. When you smile, the stars come out. Baby, you so black. When you're born, the God come out.
How's everybody doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? We got investment hacks. And we're so black. Yes, indeed. Anybody want to come into the studio with me and celebrate these investment hacks? And celebrate being black? And celebrate, oh, wow. What is tomorrow? What is tomorrow? What is tomorrow? Let me give you that link for that spoken word. I hope you could hear it. Someone confirmed that you heard the spoken word that I shared. Here's the link for that as well. Did you? Who's ready to celebrate our Juneteenth? Indeed. I see you. Hacking for investors. That's right, Tracy. How you doing, Miss Bussy? Yes, indeed. We have got to. I appreciate your time today. It is high noon on June 18th, 2025. We're streaming live. And I'm enjoying every bit of it. I'm thanking God for this opportunity to serve you, to bring some thoughts, to bring some ideas, to bring you some things that could help you for generations. This could be the greatest session you ever attended. We're going to start with some smart things, some smart financial hacks, some smart investment hacks. And I'm going to tell you the key, the main thing we have to do is start as early as possible. Start early, go slow, keep it steady, make it last. Discover the benefits of compounding returns by starting with what you got. And start as early as possible as early as you can. Start early so that it will allow you to develop and grow money over time. Even if you look at the research, it'll show you that if a person tries to catch up later, it's very hard for them to have enough money, because money that starts earlier, even though it's a smaller amount, it's compounding over, say, that 20 years. And then 20 years later, that person tries to catch up. And that investment doesn't always, let me tell you this hack, It's not always cash that you're investing, right? Sometimes it's how we're investing, not even sometimes, all the time. It's how we're spending our time. Your time is the most valuable investment that you'll make, and when it comes to building wealth. So that's why I say start early with the proper investment of your time. What is the person doing with their time in their 20s, in their teens? Like last week, you all might have seen me on television on Channel 6. But I started doing television in high school. I started volunteering at a TV station. That was an investment of my time. Isn't that something? So if it will go back a long, many decades. So if someone tried to be as comfortable or as prepared as I am when I get in front of that anchor and they're asking me questions, and I'm walking to the studio, they're not going to be as comfortable as I am. And comfort is very important when you want to express something, because we already have to know, you want to know your topic, so the compounding return of knowing my topic, of being in the financial service industry this long, and then starting and communicating my financial knowledge through using tools like this, I'm very comfortable with, because of what I started doing in high school. Talking to news anchors in high school, going through college, doing a radio program. It's totally, and even though I didn't major in it, I worked it just like as if I was majoring in communications, but I actually did a minor. I did a major in finance, and I did a double major in accounting, and then I did a minor in communications. But they didn't give me any credit for the time, what I was using, the time that I was investing in the radio station at the school. Then when I got out, I actually thought, I was going to, when I was in business school, I would tell the teacher, I'm going to be on the air. That's what I'm going to do. No. And one of my professors that was over the computer lab, where I got a job in the computer lab, and they played CNBC all the time. It was around the time where CNBC was just starting. And I was like, I want to do that because I know about business. I'm learning about business, and I want to do that. But that wasn't what God had planned. But all of that compounded, and it has helped me. And every time, like that picture right there of me on television, every time I do a television interview, I know that it's God preparing me, because He wants me to help us. He wants me to learn more and more of that compounding return on how I'm going to teach through sound bites, investment hacks. So the best hack number one is invest in yourself early. Start early. Save early. Invest early. Go to school early. Get trained early. Do it early. Now I'm in track and field, but when I was in high school, I was not on a track or a field. So I am out there with people who have started early. So in most cases, they're much better than I am. They're way farther ahead. Because when I get to that sprint line, I'm not familiar with it. I'm terrified. They know all of that. It's no big deal to them. It's easy for them to set their mind free on that. And I'm doing my throws. I don't have that history of reference like I have when I do the things that I feel most comfortable doing. Because they started early with that. God knows I wish, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Right now, it's earlier than it would be if I'll start 30 years from now. So wherever your start early is, this is my start early with sports. This may be your start early with school. This may be your start early with, because it's earlier than it'll be tomorrow. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Some people say, well, I should have started earlier, so I give up. No excuses. The name of our free membership. You have to make sure that you start as early as possible in those things that are going to give you compounding life benefits. Invest early. Learn to eat healthy early. Marry the right person early. Some people will be like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But that's just my opinion. But if you make that right investment, the earlier you choose the right spouse, you'll have a compounding positive benefit to that. Just like if you choose early, but you choose the wrong investments, that would be a problem. But if you start early, I guess it gives you time to repair. A lot of people wait and then they still make a mistake. So don't allow fear to stop you from getting the help that you need in the area that you need it. A second is, many people, and I discussed this on that interview last week, where we were talking about things to do at the mid-year. But an investment hack is also, if you have an employer that has a retirement plan, make sure that you are participating in it, that you're maximizing it. Make sure that you join AfroEconomics so that we can actually set up the allocation for it properly. Because you can be saving and saving and saving and saving, but if you're not maximizing the investment options, then you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not getting the compounding effect that you could if you were making the proper investments. Peace and blessings back to you, Mr. Brown. Thank you for saying hello. Let's think about another hack. Saving money, wasting money, throwing your money away. I see a lot of times, especially in our Black community, and we're talking about AfroEconomics, and we're talking about Juneteenth coming up tomorrow, and we're talking about, being positive and having empowerment. But a lot of us are just throwing away money because of the lack of knowledge of what we already have. Like, some people are spending way too much on life insurance. Some people are not spending anything on life insurance. Some people are but the people that are wasting the money and spending way too much on even their investment portfolios because they're using, dinosaur old stuff with high fees and expenses because of somebody's cousin, uncle's grandma's daughter got you in it years ago, and you're still in it, and you don't know what you have, and you haven't done anything about making sure, and you know that your money is not growing the way it should be. So managing your expenses, how expensive are your investments? Are you using life insurance for a way for your future, for your retirement plan? That could be a problem. I encourage you here as another hack. Use your life insurance for life insurance. Now, where I am licensed in it, and I provide my clients with life insurance, but I use the insurance that's most appropriate for their budget and for their long-term goals. But I don't try to use life insurance for everything. And that's what happens when they come after our community. And you see now, I see so many people going into life insurance, and they want to convince you that you can use it for retirement, for your child's college, for loans when you need it. It's going to last your whole life. It's going to, and all these things. And anything that sounds too good to be true generally is. We need to look farther into that. How can you spend all of the cash value, still have it for your rest of your life? And as your life goes, your expenses for the insurance go up. So actually, you can actually destroy your policy by using your cash value or the loan privileges. So you need to know these things. And so you're basically overspending. Antiquated investments, bad investment options, not talking, not getting the help. No, I remember one young lady that she joined and she was buying some life insurance, and I said, well, let me look at that. So I looked at it, and it was the premium that they had given her was 4 times the premium for what I showed her with a competitor. So I got her a quote, and it had twice the coverage, meaning her son would inherit more, twice the coverage at a fourth of the price that she was paying. And it was still a permanent policy. I wasn't trying to switch her from one permanent policy to a term policy. No, when you're comparing, you should be comparing apples to apples. But she was getting robbed. She looked at me and said, what do you think? She canceled her membership and went with the other one, which she really cannot afford. So now her son most likely doesn't have anything because you can't afford. If you can't afford $30 a month to get great advice that's going to save you money, how can you afford to spend more? Way more than $30. Oh my goodness. And that person you can't trust because they're already robbing you. And I cannot tell you how many times over my career I have seen people insist on being robbed. Insist. To face rejection because you're doing right is something that me and Jesus can take. Not to even put myself close to the level, but I have to just think, have we yet have a person who is doing right by us that has not had to deal with a great sacrifice? So it's part of our commitment. It's part of our commitment. But you, my friend, you don't have to be robbed. That is not what the word says. The word says that a fool and his money shall soon part, means that God does not want us to be foolish, because being foolish will lead to you being broke. And it's hard to catch up. You waste your money on this overpriced stuff for 10 years or so. You find out, and then you're like, oh, wow, I should have done this a long time ago. You shouldn't. I mean, look, y'all, I've been doing this over 30 years, so I hear that all the time. I should have told you a long time ago. I should have so and so a long time ago. Yeah, because I've known you for 30 years, and you've never done anything but keep the crap that you had and not even let me look at it. So a major life hack is to look at what you got and stop overspending. Keep your expenses low. You want the coverage, but we're talking everything. I'm talking about homeowners, car, life. You want the coverage. You need the coverage. You gotta have the coverage, but you don't want to overpay. So then I was a third. A fourth hack, and I'm probably gonna go, over 10 because I've done more than 4, but I'm just gonna say 4. Make sure that things that are important to you are set up to be automatically, to set up automatic for the important stuff, not for the crazy stuff, not for just the crazy stuff. The crazy stuff, they make you. You know, my YouTube account, they gonna make sure they get their stuff automatic. But are you making sure that your insurances are automatic? Especially if you're on salary, you know exactly what you're going to be making. So, and you know, these are the things I have to have automated. Your investments, automate your important bills, important assets, your important protection. We're talking about hacks to protect your finances. Automate it so you don't have to pay late fees. Another major hack, you know, is like making sure that we have the allocation. That's why I did that workshop. Make sure you go back and look at it on asset allocation. Making sure that you know that asset allocation is a part of diversifying, and make sure that you understand the investments that you have. So often, you know, I look at investment options that people have set up with the computers, and the computer just picks stuff, and then they'll have, you know, basically the same thing over and over and over and over and over. They'll put you in like 14, 15 different things, you know. I would love to know, like, what in the world the algorithm was based on. Like, how did you decide that this was best? Like, but yes, yes, indeed. It's so good to see you, Miss Davis. Yes, indeed. Yes, and yes, it says even if you don't have a lot of money to invest, invest exactly, and make sure that you diversify correctly. You know, like even if we take that investment hack where I'm suggesting about making sure you understand asset class, make sure you diversification. Like with when I was talking about investments, and we are talking about like owning your own business. I love helping entrepreneurs. It's the seventh principle of AfroEconomics. Make sure that you get the book. The seventh principle is entrepreneurship. So you're an entrepreneur, you get the business, and all you do is fix toilets, you know, and you're great at it. Somehow in there, if that plumber starts diversifying and says, you know what, I'm in that bathroom, I might as well learn to fix sinks also. I can fix toilets, I can fix sinks, I can fix your tub. How about that? That's diversifying. That's creating additional sources of income in what you're already doing. I love it when I can help clients that have like a job, a corporate job, and I love showing them how that can apply in entrepreneurship, how they can make money from what they learned while working for the federal government. While, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, my skills aren't transferable to anything else and things like that. That is really ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, you think about it. I mean, I think about all of the different things. Y'all think about it. Think about if you're just thinking about me. All of the different things that I could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, but I'm focused on doing everything financial. Shoot, previously, I used to do mortgages. It just takes so much time and it would make my clients mad. But it was, you know what I mean, a good thing to work on because I could save the money. But mortgages are a trip because you'll be right there at the end and you're about to close on the mortgage. And then the underwriter will say something like, what is this on the credit report from 10 years ago? I'm just joking. It wouldn't be 10 years ago, but it could be something that just pops up. And then the client, you talking about, I didn't like that. I didn't like disappointing my client. I didn't like being slow. I like, you know, my investments and everything else. I was like, I have to stop doing it. So now I help you all. I help my clients with the mortgage, but I, you know, focus on making sure that they take care of you. And because of knowing that business, I'm better for you. Better for you. As I was sharing with a couple last week, we were talking about, the estate planning features, and there's a company that really focuses on estate planning and helping registered investment advisory firms help their clients with estate planning. I'm like, this is perfect. It's perfect. Perfect for me. It's right in there. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? There's no other person involved in it. It's just me, the client, and the law firm. You know what I'm saying? Me, the client, and the service provider. Like, me, the client, and the paralegal, whatever. Like, it is, there's smaller chances of the client getting frustrated. But it's a way of diversifying. Like, I'm just saying these things to just encourage you, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're working, or, to just realize how powerful you are, and that our key to our life's purpose is to provide a service to help people. Help people. You don't have to worry ever about eating if you're focusing on helping others. Right? When I was in school, I was worried about eating. So what did I do? I helped others by working at a restaurant. I was like, right? Go right to the source of the problem. Whatever it is, go. But I say that jokingly, but yes, that's why I worked there. And those women used to hook me up too. They go, oh, she's a student. Give her some of that food so she could take it home. Those freshman 15 came on fast. Yes, but diversifying. So also, and we briefly talked about this, and you may take it for granted, but by investing all the time, regularly, every month, every week, every quarter, or once a year, or however you do it regularly, doing it regularly allows you to do what's called dollar cost average. So a serious hack is to know is dollar cost averaging is real. That by consistently investing as you're doing your accumulation phase, some of you are in decumulate, but during the accumulation phase, the dollar cost average, consistently investing, reduces your average costs for your investments, because you're buying some when the market's down, because inevitably the market is going to go down. It's not always trending up. And you're going to be buying some when the market is higher, but you get to reduce your average cost. We're investing because we want to buy it for less than what we sell it for. So we need to reduce the cost. An additional hack, like we're a 7, is to think about additional income. I'll put down as creating, would be to have just passive forms of income. And that's why we invest. So the passive forms of income, we invest because over time, you're actually going to be able to live off of, create income from the money that you dollar cost average into your investment account. And if it's a retirement account, there comes a time where the IRS at 73 right now, and it's supposed to be getting older, they force you to start taking what's called the required minimum distribution. But up until that point, you're saving, compounding, it's growing without taxation, everything. The earlier, the better. But it will create, you are building something that will feed you for your lifetime. That's why we have to be very intentional about investing your money, investing your time, investing your life correctly. Always, let's say a ninth thought would be to make sure that we are accountable. The 10 principles of AfroEconomics are definitely our best financial hacks, but it's also 1, discovering your why. 2 is financial independence. 3, organizing and planning. 4, increasing our knowledge. 5, the soul of our money, having integrity. 6, review. That's what made me think of. I don't know why this made me think of it, but I put it in here like that. Is that doing regular reviews. 7, the entrepreneurship, seeing yourself as an enterprise. No matter where you work, carry yourself like a business. And then 8 is having credit confidence. No, a lot of times people will talk about credit repair and stuff like that. That means you already effed up. Credit confidence, we avoid that. We avoid that. We don't run into that. AfroEconomics is a lifestyle of having your money straight. And then, and then the principles out of the book, I added 9 as being determined, making your dreams come true, determination, discipline. If I did it today, I'd probably call it discipline. And then the final, your health. So back to my hacks for today. And then, so the review, the regular review, sometimes we need to rebalance. Sometimes, like, when we're doing our reviews, we might discover that one of the investments has now, we started with 20% in that investment, and now that investment makes up 30% of your value. Your account has gone up, but most of the appreciation came from this one ETF. And you can tell because its position, the allocation that's in that one is higher than where you started. You started with 20, 20, 20, this and that. Now all of a sudden this one's at 30 and the other one is at 10 because that one didn't do so well. So if you allow the machine to rebalance for you, that machine is going to sell off your winner and rebalance and buy you more of the one that's out of favor. That's why I don't like automatic rebalancing. That's how my clients benefit from me, because I supersede the machine. The machine does what we tell it to do it. I don't do what the machine tells me to do. I tell the machine what to do, and then it has to do it. So if I wanted that automatic rebalancing, then we do that. But if I don't want that automatic rebalancing, the client doesn't want that. The client was like, I gotta have 20% here, 20% all times, rebalance all the time, then we do that. But typically, they benefit a lot by us meeting and talking about reallocations instead of just allowing the machines to set it and keep on moving, set it, keep on moving. And look, and a lot of places charge you for the rebalancing. I've seen that on clients' accounts. And I'm like, you're in AfroEconomics now. You have a registered investment advisor on your team. You do not have to pay for that. But because we're going to be working on that, and you don't have to be at the mercy of that. I have seen it like sell off some serious winners. Clients don't even understand what happened. And then I would say, like, a final point would be focus on long-term goals when you invest. Focus on long-term. So I like to choose investment. The way that I help you focus on the long term is by me focusing on the long term, right? So if I'm telling you, oh, Ms. Davis, I want you to focus on, the next 10 years. I don't want you, even though we're having reviews all the time, that doesn't mean we have to always sell something. That doesn't mean we have to always be buying something, but it does mean that we always need to meet. So if we're focused on the long term, but yet I'm always selling you something, God forbid, that's only got a history of a year or two, then that's that's hypocritical. That's in contrary to what I'm saying here is a major investment hack. You want to do better? Focus on the long term. We should be thinking in decades, lifetimes. I spend most of my day thinking about what my actions will do to impact my grandchildren that I don't even have, you know? Thank God my stepdaughter has grandchildren now, but my daughter doesn't have children yet. But I forget I'm a grandmother, kind of. Yes, indeed. My grandbabies. When I married my daughter's father, he had grandchildren that were 3 years old. Now they almost 30. I cannot believe it. But no. But we have stayed together, me and the grandchildren, even though me and their grandfather are not together. And I think about them. I think about them. And I think about the next generation. And we, and maybe being so young and seeing that like really helped because I had grandchildren before I had a child. Not different, right? That's right. That mindset will make us masters of our financial realities. Amen, Mr. Brown. Great point and success attitude, Sister JB. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me see. I'm gonna put that up there. See if this thing will record it. Thank you so much, Mr. Brown. And indeed, I'm gonna summarize a little bit. And I didn't realize that I had because I'm gonna end with that spoken word poem for Juneteenth. I'm gonna play it again at the end. It really touched me. Did y'all hear that poem at the beginning? Those of you who were here, because I want to make sure that it was playing through, that you heard the spoken word poem entitled "You So Black," a powerful celebration of Blackness. I will play that in a few moments. So, our investment hacks. In summary, start as early as possible. Be slow and steady, stay the course, stay the race, stay on track, realize, investing, you're gonna have times where you're sprinting and you're gonna have times where it's a marathon. You're gonna have times where it feel like, everything is moving forward like really, really fast. And there's times where it's like, whoa, one hurdle after another. You got to be focused on that long term. So that first hack is just start early. Start as early as possible so you can experience as many fluctuations as possible. But the time will give you time for compounding. We'll give you time. Starting early will give you time for life changes. It will give you time to get smarter. Give yourself time by starting early with all that is good, with everything that's good. Everything. Start now with eating better. Start now with avoiding processed food. Start now because that's money in your pocket. Start now with being mobile, moving. I was looking at this post, and this lady I know from the gym, and she and some girlfriends, they went on a girls trip, and when they got to the airport, they had reserved for wheelchairs. Now, mind you, most of them are younger than me, but most people don't know how old I am. So when I say these people are younger than me and they're like getting in these wheelchairs, but they were, and they don't need wheelchairs. And it took everything within me, Ms. Davis, but I didn't do it. I didn't say anything. I did not say it. But I think that a serious life investment hack is move. And even if you need a wheelchair, use it to hold you up and try to walk. Just hold the handles, use it as a walker. But don't sit down. Don't sit down. I sit about 12 to 14 hours a day. That's why I start every day by getting my exercise in. Not some days, every day I got to do something. Every day I got to do something. Even on my rest days, they have to be active recovery days. Because I know how much it costs to be sick. So we have to fight. We have to fight to stay healthy. We have to fight to stay healthy. And sometimes people look at you and they just think, oh, like, oh, cool, you're not sick. You're not sick. Thank God we're not. But we're not sick because we're doing things to be healthy. We're not broke because we're doing things to have money. We're not miserable because we're doing things to stay happy. You have to do these things intentionally, on purpose. We have to create. Nobody is going to give it to us. Nobody is going to give it to us. We have to create the life that we deserve. We have to. And they're going to take hustling. I've been hustling. As y'all heard, I've been hustling since, before I was old enough to get a job out. I was cleaning houses and doing things, and I didn't have to. My father was a president of several HBCUs. I didn't have to, but he did me a favor, and they didn't give me anything. They didn't give me anything to start my business. They gave me the opportunity to grow up safe. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger said the other day to the ladies on The View. He said, I am so thankful for America for coming to a country that embraced me so much. I was like, amen. And he said, and I will never, never do anything to harm that. And he said, that's why he's like, I don't understand why people would do things to harm the country that's done so much for them. And that's why I don't understand how we don't see how much we have done, our ancestors have done to build this. This United States of America was built on the backs of my ancestors for free labor, not minimum wage, free labor. And I thank God for the opportunity to have unlimited income. And the only thing that limits my income, is me and my choices. So God give me strength. I am thankful. I'm thankful. Thankful. I don't want nothing from anybody. I just want people to get out of my way. That's it. I thank God for a spirit of entrepreneurship. I thank God for understanding the Bible, the word, to keep me inspired, to keep me faithful, to keep me focused. You know what I'm saying? Things have not been easy for me. No, not at all. I can tell you the saddest story. That people make movies off stuff that are sadder, that are not as sad as my life experience has been at times. But God got me through. My ancestors got me through. My strength and my DNA got me through. And we have a lot to be proud of. A major hack in your investments is not giving up, not forgetting who you are, not wasting your money on people who made bad decisions, and you are spending your savings, and I see it too much. You worked hard for everything you got, and then you're spending your life savings on someone who decided to make life choices. I used to have a girlfriend, and she's not my friend anymore because I stopped giving her money. She would go out partying, I'd be working. She'd be on Facebook turning up, I'd be working. First the month comes, she go, girl, can you help a sister out? Serious investment hack. Don't waste your blessings. Don't waste your blessings. diversification, keeping your expenses low, know when you are being robbed. If you don't know what you have, then you need to get it checked out. You need to know what the expenses are for the investments that you have. The way that I've structured my firm, my clients with my portfolios, they have minimal to none expenses internally on their investments. Any fee that I charge them is fully disclosed on their asset management fee. Clients with less than 100,000 have to have a membership. People with more than 100,000 have free membership. Those with less than 100 who pay membership I don't get any fee for their assets until they get over 100. It is an attempt to get us to build wealth with a way that is rare. So I'm basically giving the small investor access to what only huge assets get access to. I'm giving the small investor the opportunity to have cheap investments because of my larger clients supporting AfroEconomics. They're pulling us forward. They're pulling you forward. Look at passive income, serious, understanding passive income, understanding differences in the life insurance, health insurance, understanding like Medicare, understanding what your coverages are, understanding like your car insurance, all of these expenses, understanding them, huge finance. And not that, of course, that's not just my investments, but I can't help but say, when you're looking at expenses, and I want you to keep your expenses low, you have to really look at everything. Look at everything. Some people are wasting money on, things like overpriced insurances, overpriced car insurance, overpriced homeowners insurance, overpriced, but yet they will not buy themselves, good vitamins or get a massage or, get a treadmill or get anything for themselves, but they'll do everything for everyone else. That's not a good investment. I mean, a serious life hack is to realize you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. So if you haven't made sure that you have everything that you need, then you're not on a solid rock. You're not on a solid foundation. If I want to have a legacy, then I have to be healthy to build the legacy. 30 plus years ago, whatever, early, it was, I'm an entrepreneur. If I am under chronic, consistent, everyday stress. Every day. Since I was in my 20s when I started this firm. Every day. Been through 9/11, everything since then, COVID, divorces, all this stuff. I knew I was going to have to invest in my health via time and my money in order to get to this point, to be celebrating 30 years of my firm and more than 30 years in this business. You got to take care of the stuff that you can't cover with makeup. We got to take care of that. Your mind. Woo! So don't try to time the stock market. We could do it. No. We could do it. We knew exactly, what was going to happen tomorrow. This. So many people have said that. I've seen Susie Orman like so many times say, the Dow's never coming back. This is it. This is the end, blah, blah, blah. How they still let her be on TV is ridiculous, I guess, because it's a woman. They just let her get away with that nonsense. Because I don't see them letting a man like come up there and say that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Then the market comes back, you know what I mean? And she has no accountability to it. She came out with this debit card that was supposed to help people build their credit, and it never once helped with credit score. Never once. They finally, I guess, asked her to close it down and robbed so many people. It's just sad. Like, if they're not licensed, y'all, they're just not licensed. And most of the people on social media, they're not licensed, so they can tell you anything. Nobody knows about your financials. Nobody can tell you what to do with your finances. If anybody even tries to tell you, like, you should buy this, you'll know they're not licensed. Everything that I'm telling you now is generic information for your empowerment. It is not product specific. Because I'm licensed and I have to talk to Mr. Brown to know exactly what Mr. Brown is supposed to have. So you cannot go through YouTube looking for stock picks and think that these are really going to work out for you, because one or two did work. And then sign up for their course that costs 100 times more than AfroEconomics. Isn't that something? When AfroEconomics is led by an actual regulated licensed person, thank God. But it goes along with that whole realizing how much we're worth and realizing how much we deserve. No. So be conscious and be careful. Don't trust, anyone saying, trying to time the market. The bottom line is we have to, anything that we have exposed to, growth investments, they're for the long term. And things change. So don't buy something for someone who is not going to be there to talk to you tomorrow about it. We could go on and on, couldn't we? Till I break of dawn. I want you to hear this poem before you go. I did. 1 second. I don't know if I should. I'm gonna share it so that when I hit the play, it'll play. Let me make sure it's at the beginning.
You so black. When you smile, the stars come out. You so black. When you born, the God come out. Black is not. Black when it's wrong and black when it's right. Black is pyramids and mathematics. Black is melanized in magic. Black is televised and in need of drastic black advancement. Black enhances, black with chances, black with privilege, black with pride, black on purpose on the black hand side, black and beautiful, black and blessed and highly favored, praise the Lord, black and blessed, black and so much more, black and nothing less. Black and educated, black is brilliant, black is strong, black is resilient, black is song, black is infinite, like hip hop or space. Black is grace, black is love, black makes babies, black babies grow up, black is tough, black is hard to do. Black is me, black is you. Black is not something we get to choose, but it is something we get to cherish. Yeah. It's something we get to wear, and we get to rock this with honor. I'm black like my granddaddy and my great-great-great-great-grandma.
That's right.
Black is that lift every voice and sing. Black is that letting your freedom ring and resound. Black is adjective, adverb, color, and noun. You so black. Oh, you so black. When you smile, the stars come out. Baby, you so black. When you're born, the God come out.
Amen. He's so black. It's a blessing. I thank God for the opportunity to be black. I do. I thank God for it. And I pray that everyone who doesn't get to celebrate their blackness and doesn't feel comfortable with it or feels at a disadvantage for it, that God will allow them to be empowered. Yes, indeed, Ms. Fossey, like black is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. We're more than a look. We're a life experience like AfroEconomics, And I remember when I first started AfroEconomics and so many Black people told me it wasn't going to work and Black people don't have money and Black people don't, And I'm so glad. Thank God for pushing through. There's times where I feel like you all don't hear me, but then I think about everybody that went before me, and how much they sacrificed. Muhammad Ali sacrificed fights to stand up. Martin Luther King sacrificed his life for basically moving towards economic equality. Things that I talk about now, like, how much these things that are going on right now impact the Black man and we're not realizing it hurts me. We have to get enlightened about our future. About our future. You deserve to be free. We deserve to be free. We deserve to be free. Love y'all. Enjoy your life and enjoy your day. Enjoy Juneteenth. I'll be working, taking care of us. Take care now.